Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Just going to run some quick tests just to make sure that everything is working. I'm going to record the session so we can do the replay. Just going to check on YouTube and Instagram. Yeah, the YouTube recording will be available until Sunday next week. So hopefully it will be all right. Yeah, I think YouTube is, Instagram is probably okay. Instagram is working, and I think YouTube is, yeah, YouTube is also working, so which is good. It's the first time that I'm using Google Meet, so hopefully there's no issues there. But if you guys can hear me all right, so that's important. And I will be sharing a PowerPoint presentation that I did for the workshop. And so just going to send a reminder in our WhatsApp group. We are live in Google Meet. Yeah. Just sending those reminders so all people join, and then we'll start. I think we're good. All right. So I think we'll start, everyone. And yeah, thank you very much for your interest and participation in the Engineers the Skills Assessment Black Friday event, where tonight I'm going to share with you a little bit of my knowledge so you can start your application to become an engineer here in Australia. For those that don't know me, my name is Gerson Ida. I'm a Brazilian civil engineer, and founder of the engineersinaustralia.com, a website that I created back in 2019 to share information to make your journey a little bit easier to become an engineer here in Australia and hopefully achieve your dream to work as an engineer in Australia, as well as applying for a visa and staying here in Australia if that is what your plan. What's your plan? So I will share my presentation, and I hope that it will work. Where's my window? PowerPoint. No, not this one. Why it's sharing this one? Can you guys see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, good. Okay, so just a little bit about me. Why did I create my website, www.engineersinaustralia.com? To share valuable content and information, assisting in the journey to make your dream to come true. Also to give some hints for professional accomplishment in Australia. Also to share some day to day of an engineer in Australia. And also obviously to provide you guys a smoother road than mine. Because when I did my validation back in 2005, 2006, there wasn't really a lot of information available. And yeah, I had a lot of difficulties and took me a lot of time, a lot of effort to do my validation. So hoping that with the information that I'm going to share with you tonight, you can accomplish your validation much easier. Also, a little bit about me. I graduated as civil engineer back in 1994. Yes, it's been 30 years that I graduated. I probably revealing my age. I've done my MBA in logistics, and I here in Australia, I'm a chartered professional engineer with Engineers Australia, as well as a registered professional engineer of Queensland, RPEQ, with the Board of Professional Engineers of Queensland since 2011. I've done some post-graduation courses in Japan, planning and construction in Japan, quality and productivity in Japan as well. I've done my graduate certificate in project management in France. Also, my advanced diploma in project management in Australia, and a few other certificate for training assessment and safety leadership here in Australia. I participated in several chartered professional interview panels with Engineers Australia for those engineers that they wanting to become chartered professional engineers. I participated in many professional interviews where we were assessing if they could become chartered professional engineers here in Australia. I had my qualification as civil engineer recognized by Engineers Australia back in 2006, And currently I work for the Department of Transport and Main Roads here in Queensland, managing the state-owned structures network with more than 8,700 structures statewide. So that is just a little bit about me. And what are we going to see tonight? We're going to see the pathways for validation, the 6 steps for the validation, the CPD, and you will understand what CPD is, the continuing professional development, the career episodes, the summary statement, and I'm going to give you lots and lots of hints and tips for you to prepare a successful CDR application. And also I'm going to give away 15 minutes of free consulting. And if you have questions, you can pop in the chat, and I will answer those ones as we go with the workshop. The workshop is going to be probably a lot of information. There's a lot of information that I have to give to you guys. Also, because I'm going to be opening my mentoring program, Validation Formula, a new group of my mentoring program. A lot of people asked me when I was going to open a new group. The last group that I opened was back in August, so it's been a while that I don't open any mentoring group, and people were asking when. And tonight, it's probably, this group is going to be probably the last group that I opened this year. So I will be explaining as well how the mentoring program works, how much it's going to be, and obviously being Black Friday, I'm going to give you guys a very special condition for a Black Friday that I haven't given before. I just did one Black Friday last year, and the offer that I'm going to give to you guys is better than the offer that I gave last year. So the 15 minutes of free consulting, I don't know if some of you guys already, I could recognize by the name. Some of you guys already responded, but the QR code on the screen, it goes to the post of my Instagram profile. And I'm just trying to open here my phone so I can show to you guys. Where is that? It's not opening. But you can go there, and where's it? That's this one. It's still opening. Yeah, so that's this post. I think it's blurred, isn't it? So when you go to this post and the QR code is in the presentation, it's very easy. You just need to like the post, follow my profile, mark another engineer in the comments, and write in the comments, I will become an engineer in Australia. And obviously, you need to stay with me until the end of the live session when I'm going to do the draw of the winner. And why am I asking you to write in the comments? Yeah. That is to condition your thinking with a positive thinking. The validation process, you will see, it's not complex. It's quite a simple process. You will see there are just 6 steps. But it's not easy. There's a lot of things that you need to do. There's a lot of writing, a lot of reporting, and so it's not easy, especially for us engineers that majority of us, we don't like to write. So write long reports and those sort of things. So it's very important that you think about the positive thinking. If you write, I will become an engineer in Australia, you're conditioning your brain to think that you will become an engineer in Australia. And that's very important. So that's the reason why I'm asking you guys to to write that in the comments. Okay. So if you haven't done yet, you still have some time until the end of the live session tonight. You can like the comment, follow my profile, mark another engineer, and write in the comments, I will become an engineer in Australia. Okay, so the pathways to qualification validation. And Louise is asking the question, hi Jason, have you done the process with any Portuguese? Probably, you probably mean Portuguese from Portugal. I actually have one student that, yeah, he's from Portugal. So he's currently in the process. So the answer is yes. And Portugal, it's not in the, you will see here that I'm going to talk about the Washington Accord. And unfortunately, Portugal is not part of the Washington Accord as well. So pathways to qualification validation. There are 5 pathways for overseas trained engineers. The first pathway, as you can see in the diagram, is that your qualification is accredited by Engineers Australia because you've done your qualification here in Australia. So if that is your case, probably not, you can apply under pathway number 1, which is under the Australian qualification pathway. Pretty straightforward. A lot of international students, they do, for example, associate degrees in draftsperson, those sort of thing, and then they can get their validation with Engineers Australia as engineering or civil draftsperson, for example. The pathway number 2, 3, and 4, they are the pathways related to the International Engineering Alliance. They have 3 accords. The first one is the Washington Accord for professional engineers. The second one is the Sydney Accord for engineering technologists. And the third accord is the Dublin Accord for engineering associates. And for you to be eligible to apply under those accords, it means that your country needs to be part of the accord as a full signatory. So just I can give some examples. Can you write in the comments from which country did you graduate and when did you graduate? Then I can probably give some examples here. And while you write that, I'll be explaining a little bit more. So if you graduated in a country that is a full signatory of the accord, for example, you want to become a professional engineer. So professional engineer is under the Washington Accord. If you graduated from a country that is a full signatory of the Washington Accord, and if you graduated on the year or after your country became a full signatory, you are then eligible to apply under the Washington Accord, which is a very simple process. You fill the form, you pay the fee, and that's pretty much it. So Washington Accord for professional engineers, Sydney Accord for engineering technologists, and Dublin Accord for engineering associates. Yeah, some of the answers here. Luis Fernandez, Portugal, November 2023. Dave Nicholas, Philippines in 2024, currently at Singapore. Camila, Brazil, December 2020. And Luis is saying that he's arrived in Perth 3 months ago. So I think that from all of you, I'm going to open here the the Washington Accord. It's very easy. You just need to Google Washington Accord, and it will give the signatories. So the signatories are Korea, Russia, Malaysia, China, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Ireland, Hong Kong, China, Chinese Taipei, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Japan, India, United States, Turkey, United Kingdom, Bangladesh, Costa Rica, Mexico, Pakistan, Peru, Philippines, and Indonesia. And so, Dave, Philippines became a full signatory in 2023. It says here recognition date as full signatory status applies from 2023 to Tier 1 programs as defined by the tier classification system used in the Philippines. So if you graduated in 2024, so obviously after 2023, when Philippines became full signatory. So if your course is part of the Tier 1 program, you would be eligible for Washington Accord, Dave. But other ones, Portugal and Brazil, unfortunately, are not signatories of the Washington Accord, so you cannot use the Washington Accord. If you cannot use the Washington Accord for professional engineers, what is your pathway for the validation process? Is going to be pathway number 5, which is when your qualification is either not accredited or is not from any of those accords, which means that you need to apply under the competency demonstration report. We call it CDR pathway, competency demonstration report. And obviously, the workshop tonight is about CDR, the competency demonstration report, because that is the longest pathway for the validation, and it is obviously a little bit more difficult. The processes are simple, and you will see in the 6 steps that it's fairly simple, the process, but it's going to be a little bit difficult. Not impossible, obviously, because many people, they do. But when people think it's going to be easy, yeah, that's where they have their first mistake. So this is the pathway for the validation process, or the 6 steps for the validation process. Step number 1 is your personal information. You need to obviously just get your photo from your, like a passport style photo, your identification. It could be your national identification card, or it could be your passport identification page. If you change your name because you got married, or you change your name here in Australia, you need to also provide your change of name document. You need to prepare your CV or your resume as well. And I'm going to talk about the CV and resume with more details. You also need to do your English test. And step number 1 is pretty much straightforward, just an English test that some people, they take a little bit longer to get approved. And then step number 3. Step number 2 is the application. When you apply, you need to nominate your preferred occupational category and your occupation. So there are 3 categories that are available. The first category is the professional engineer. The second category is the engineering technologist. And the third category is the engineering associate. There is a fourth category. There's a fourth category that is the engineering manager. But that category is just for immigration or migration purposes. If you are approved as engineering manager, you can apply for your migration process, but you're not going to be eligible to become a member of Engineers Australia because the title is manager. It's not engineer. It's engineering manager. So as engineering manager, you're not eligible to be a member as an engineer, but you can proceed with your migration process if that is the process that you want to do. And then in terms of occupation, and then again, probably a good exercise if you can put in the comments um, what type of engineering, what field of engineering did you graduate? So we can also get to know a little bit about each other. So I am a civil engineer. I'll write in there, I am a civil engineer. So I also participate with you. And it's important that you go to the ANZ SCO. So the ANZ SCO is the Australia New Zealand Standard Classification of Occupation. And again, very simple to find it. ANZ SEO occupation engineer. I'm going to pop in the comments the site of the Australian government so you can access the occupation there. So yeah, lean electrical engineer. Yeah, thank you, Lynn. And it's important that when you are going to decide about your competency demonstration report, it's important that you really read very carefully the definition of the occupation according to ANZ SEO. Very, very important. And welcome, Adrian, in Instagram. If you want to join us in the Google Meet, I'll see if I can send the link in Instagram, Adrian, so you can participate with the others there. Just a second. Just going to. Yeah. So very, very important for you to go there and read very carefully the definition of your occupation. Why is very important? Because if you choose an experience of your for your career episodes, so you can write your reports. If you choose an experience that is not aligned with the definition of the ANZ SEO occupation, Engineers Australia will most certainly not approve your application. And why do I say this? Because we are from other countries, and sometimes we have experience in other countries. And then we think that the experience that we did in our country or other countries, it's the same here in Australia. And sometimes it could be different. And if you choose the wrong experience, not really matching with the definition of the ANZ SEO, It's a big risk for you and a big chance for Engineers Australia not approving your report. So it's really important that you make sure that you obviously meet the criteria. Okay. Um, Step number 3 is going to be about your education. And that's fairly straightforward, fairly easy. You just need to get your certificate or your diploma of obviously the evidence of your graduation as bachelor or as engineering technologist or associate. And if it is not in English language, you will need to translate that document using an authorized translator. An authorized translator doesn't need to be the one here from Australia. It can be from your country, as long as they have their identification number, they have their title and name and contact details. In Brazil, we call them tradutor juramentado. Not sure how do they call in Portugal, Luis, probably the same, but you can use those translators in your home country or in another country, like I think Dave that lives in Philippines, currently in Singapore. I don't know how you call the authorized translators there, but it's very important that when you upload your documents, translated documents, it's also important that you upload the translated version as well as in the original language as well. Not just a translated version, but you also need to upload in the original language as well. So your academic certificates and also your academic transcripts. A lot of people ask if they need to upload the course curriculum, all the description of all subjects, usually lots and lots of pages, and the answer is no, you don't need to, unless Engineers Australia they ask you later on that they need to check what was the content of those subjects. But usually they don't ask. When you send your academic transcript and your certificate of your bachelor degree, it's usually enough. If you've done post-graduation courses or specialization courses or MBA, master's degree, you can also attach those academic documentation as well. So that's going to be your step number 3. Step number 4 is about evidences of your skilled employment. Even though Engineers Australia does not require you to. Interesting. Somebody tried to enter. Even though Engineers Australia doesn't require you to have work experience, if you are going to use work experience in your career episodes, or if you're going to also ask Engineers Australia to validate your experience period, you will need to get evidences of your skilled employment. And those ones, the evidences will be the reference letters. So if you have your reference letters, it's important, and I'm going to talk about the reference letter, what needs to be in the reference letter as well. So important. If you want to use those evidences in the work experience as your career episodes, you need to have the reference letter. If you want to validate your work experience, you also need to have your reference letter. And then step number 5, it's the different types of report. There are 3 types of reports. The first type of report is your CPD, your continuing professional development. The second type of report is your career episodes, which is the 3 experiences that you need to write about, where you're going to demonstrate that you're competent in the requirements that Engineers Australia will be asking you according to the category that you're going to be applying. For the professional engineers category, there are different requirements. For the engineering technologist, there are different requirements. And for the engineering associate, there are different requirements as well. And the third type of report is going to be your summary statement. And I'm going to explain about summary statement as well in details. The summary statement is a document that Engineers Australia has a template in their website where there will be 16 competencies, and you need to demonstrate that you have achieved those 16 competencies with evidences and also indicating where in the career episodes those evidences are located. And I'm going to explain to you how to write your summary statement. So that's step number 5. And then step number 6, it's the application itself. You go to the Engineers Australia website and then you create your Engineers Australia identification number. This identification number, if you become a member of Engineers Australia later on, that's going to be your membership number as well. So the application is very straightforward. You choose the services that you want Engineers Australia to provide to you. Then you fill the blanks, you upload your documents, you upload your translation, upload your reference letters if you're going to use reference letters. Then you upload your CPD, your career episodes, your summary statement. Depending on the services that you're going to choose Engineers Australia to do, there will be the fee that you have to pay. You pay the fee, and then you submit, and then you just wait. Nowadays, it's much quicker now because Engineers Australia hired new assessors. So you wait probably 3, 4, 5 weeks, and you will get an email either congratulating you because you've been approved, and then you can pop the champagne and celebrate, or they're going to send to you a feedback saying that you will need to fix few things, and then they'll give you 30 days usually, so you can fix few things or provide more documentation or even rewrite your career episodes or rewrite your summary statement, and then within the 30 days, you need to provide a response to Engineers Australia. And after you provide the response, it's when they're going to obviously finalize your application and let you know if you've been approved or not approved. Okay, so a little bit more details about some of the important steps. So the English test scores, and remember that you have 4 bands in the English test. You have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. If you've done your IELTS, and I think that Luis said that he did IELTS and have a general score of 7, asking if that is enough. That's a good question, Luis. I can't tell you because you need to get at least 6 in all bands, minimum of 6 in all bands, in the listening, reading, writing, and speaking. You got a general score of 7. Hopefully, you got 6 at least in all the 4 bands. If you ended up getting 5.5, for example, in one band, and got, for example, 7 or 7.5 in another one, it doesn't work because you didn't get 6 in all bands. You need to get at least 6 in all bands if you did IELTS. He's saying, "Oh, I'm good because I got 6 or more or more in every band. Good, congratulations. So you don't need to worry about English. Maybe for your migration process, you want to do another English test so you can get very higher score, so you can get more points. As you know, migration here in Australia is all about points. If you're going to do TOEFL, you need to get at least 12 in listening, 13 in reading, 21 in writing, and 18 in speaking. And if you're going to do the PTE, you got to get at least 50 in all four bands. So a lot of people, they say that they prefer PTE. Other people, they say that they prefer IELTS because it's more structured. Obviously, it's your choice. When I did it, I did IELTS because it was the only test that was available back in 2005. But there's a lot of tutorials. I encourage you guys to probably do some mock-up tests, either with PTE or IELTS or TOEFL, and then see which one do you fit better. And then the one that you prefer, then you try to study how to do the test, because the test sometimes is not about your English level, but how you do the test. So there are some tricks for each test. So maybe it's a good idea to think about how you can do how to learn those tricks to do a good test. So the first report is about CPD, Continuing Professional Development. Why does Engineers Australia ask you to do a continuing professional development? Engineers Australia, they want to know if you are keeping yourself up to date with the engineering practices in your field. I'm a civil engineer and I graduated back in 1994. And up until today, because I am a chartered professional engineer, I need to demonstrate to Engineers Australia that I have a minimum of 150 hours of CPD for every 3 years. It's not 50 hours per year, but 150 for 3 years. You guys don't have, for the validation process, there's no minimum hours. But once you become chartered professional engineers, or you want to become a chartered professional engineer, you need to demonstrate at least 150 hours of CPD. So Engineers Australia, they want to know, especially for those ones that they graduated a little bit more than, let's say, 5, 10, 15 years, they want to make sure that you as an engineer, you're keeping yourself up to date with technology, with the best practices, with the what's trending in your engineering field. So that's why they ask your CPD. I haven't seen any issues with the validation process just because people haven't done CPD, especially if you graduated recently, let's say 2023, 2024, you didn't really have a lot of time to build up your continuing professional development. But I do suggest and recommend you to start building your CPD list. And what is this report? How can you do this CPD report? Very simple. You can grab a Word document and insert a table with 5 columns. Very easy. First column is the title. Second column, date. Third column, duration. Fourth column, venue. And fifth column is the organizer. Very easy. And then what type of events, CPD events, can you use in your list? The CPD is not just training. Oh, Jerson, I haven't done many courses. I haven't any. There are different types of CPD events that you can use in your report. So some of them, post-graduation course, and that's important. CPD events are just the learning and development events that you did after you graduated. As the name said, continuing professional development. Until you graduate, you're not professional. After you graduated, then you become professional. So that's why the CPD events are just those events after you graduated. Post-graduation courses, if you graduated and then you came to Australia, if you did an English course, you can use that as part of your CPD. If you did a certificate for or a diploma in project management or even in civil engineering, draftsperson, those sort of things, you can use as your CPD. And obviously post-graduation courses, masters, specialization, other short courses that you did, you can use in your CPD. Another type of CPD are conferences as a presenter or participant. So if you've written a paper to present in a conference, you can use that as part of your CPD. If you attended the conference and then you attended obviously different sessions, you've learned, you develop yourself as a professional, you can use that conference participation as your CPD. Other type of CPD would be then the less formal, like workshop, courses, seminars, discussion groups, technical inspections, or site visits, or technical visits. Obviously, when you are visiting a site, sometimes, not always, but sometimes, you develop yourself, you learn something new when you are visiting a site or you're doing a technical inspection. So it's important to capture those events and put in your calendar, and then in the list or spreadsheet that you put together, make sure that you put that as a CPD event. For example, if you did a technical inspection or a technical site visit, there's electrical engineer here, Lean, electrical engineer. So let's say that he attended a technical inspection because there was a transformer that they were going to install, and there was a new technology in terms of the cooling. Obviously, they use oil as cooling, but then there was a new cooling system, those sort of things. And he went to this technical inspection to inspect the transformer before and learned about this new cooling system before they actually installed the transformer, for example, in the light pole. So he could do that and put that he's attended a technical inspection to inspect transformer, whatever, 38 or 34 kVAs or 100 kVAs, whatever, and learned about this new cooling system using whatever oil or system that could be the new system. So, and that was the title. The date was today. Duration was, let's say, 3 hours or 1 day. The venue was, could put the site, let's say, and Kapalaba power station or substation, whatever. And the organizer was, let's say, the name of the company that Lean works, let's say, for example. So that's going to be your table. And then you can put, because the report is just one A4 format, so A4 is not that big, you're probably going to fit about 20, 25 CPD events. So it's not a lot. There's not a lot of room, especially if you have a lot of experience. Another type of CPD, it could be the preparation and presentation of course material, conferences, and symposiums. And just following on this example about the transformer, Lean probably, let's say that Lean, after the technical inspection, he prepared a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation to share with his colleagues, electrical engineers in his company, what he's learned about this new cooling system. And then in the next project managers meeting or in the next engineering meeting, he then present that PowerPoint to his colleagues engineers. The fact that he's prepared a PowerPoint presentation and he presented that to other engineers, that also can be part of his CPD events. Another type of CPD could be the preparation and presentation of course material and conferences and symposiums. So if you prepare material, if you prepare presentations for those workshops and symposiums, you can use that as part of your CPD. And also another type of CPD, it could be the services to the engineering profession. Just going to mute you, Luis, because getting a little bit of a noise in the background. Yeah, thanks. The services to the engineering profession, for example, when I participate in the interviews with Engineers Australia, or if I am listed as a peer reviewer for engineers wanting to become chartered professional engineers, I usually get between 5 and 8 hours of CPD in the category of services to the engineering profession, because it is a voluntary work that I do for Engineers Australia. And in that 5 or 8 hours, I need to read the documentation that engineers they submit, their career episodes, and then provide my feedback or attend interviews. So that's why I get 5 to 8 hours of CPD when I do this peer review or professional interview, because it's a service that I'm doing to the engineering profession. And the last type is a category that you're probably going to be using a lot, which is the private study, which includes books, journals, manuals, webinars that Engineers Australia they provide. I'm actually going to, I got a new magazine, it's not this one, but every month I get Engineers Australia magazine. It's called Create, where it's got a lot of articles, technical articles, and innovations, good practices in the engineering. And I can accumulate half an hour of CPD as private study every month when I read the Engineers Australia magazine. So if you're reading technical books, technical magazines, specifications, even legislation about safety environmental here in Australia, so you learn about the local legislation, you can use that as part of your CPD as a private study. When you attend Engineers Australia webinars, and I don't know if you know, but Engineers Australia, they have free webinars. Some are paid, but there are some that are free as well. So if you just Google Engineers Australia free webinars, let's see if I can put the link in there. Engineers Australia.au. You can attend those webinars for free. Some, as I said, some they are paid, but there are quite some few events that they are for free. So let's see here. I'll put the link in there so you can also double check. For example, if you are in Queensland, there is a webinar about the mandatory registration in Queensland which is the IPQ, how to start and where to start. That's usually a free event. So when you attend those events, you can use that event as your CPD. Camila is asking internal auditing in other sites of the same company. Does it count for the CPD? It all depends. What did you learn and what was your professional development when you carried out those internal audits? I'd say that every time that you carry out an internal audit, you always learn something about whatever you're auditing. If you're auditing systems, if you're auditing technical delivery, if you're auditing safety, if you're auditing environmental compliance. So depending on what you're auditing, but I think usually you learn something about what you're auditing. Sometimes even you learn what not to do if the team is not really doing things very well. You learn what not to do. And if you later, after the internal auditing, you need to write an audit report to put some recommendations, you will be improving your auditing skills as well. So that is your learning, your professional development. So I believe that you can use those internal audits as part of your CPD. But it's important not to always, obviously, repeating internal auditing. It's important to have a little bit of diversity in the learning events and the CPD events that you're going to use. So that was the first type of report, your CPD, continuing professional development. The second type of report is the career episode. And you will need to write 3 career episodes in total. And a career episode is an account of your engineering experience. It could be education or work experience. If you don't have work experience, you can use your academic engineering experience to write your career episodes. If you have work experience, you can use just your work experience, or you can use your academic and your work experience. Sometimes engineers, they have work experience, but the work experience is not very relevant because it doesn't match with the definition of the ANZ SEO occupation definition, and therefore you will probably need to use only your academic experience. And it's not a problem. Using your academic experience is not a problem at all, especially because when you are validating your engineering skills with Engineers Australia, Engineers Australia is just verifying that your academic qualification is equivalent to an Australian engineering qualification. So they're not comparing work experience. You can use work experience because when you use a work experience, you are applying the knowledge that you got from your academic qualification. There's a comment here in Instagram. There's only information content for engineers. Again, nothing for electricians. Yes, this information session, this workshop is for engineers, professional engineers, technologists, and engineering associates, which kind of is technician. The process to recognize as an electrician is a different assessing organization. It's going to be with VetAssess. No, sorry, it's going to be with a TRA. I think is a TRA. I don't know what TRA is. I think it's Trades Recognition Authority. I think, but it's not with Engineers Australia, unfortunately. It's a totally different process for electricians. So the career episode, each career episode, and you need to write 3, must focus on a different period or aspect of your engineering activity. And each episode should focus on how you applied your engineering knowledge and skills in the nominated occupation. Nominated occupation is your field of engineering. If you are going to validate as a civil engineer, your nominated occupation is civil engineering. If you're going to validate as electrical engineer, your nominated occupation is electrical engineer. So you've got to make sure that you write your career episodes according to the nominated occupation. And that is following what's written in the ANZ SEO occupation definition website from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. And I'm going to give you guys hints about the career episodes, how to write a good career episode as well. And those hints, they're not really anywhere in the booklet, because obviously the hints that I accumulated over the years and I'm going to share with you. The career episodes. You may base your career episodes upon an engineering task undertaken as part of your educational program, a project you have worked on or are currently working on, a specific position that you occupied or currently occupy. In this case, the career episode cannot be just the position description or duty statement. It's got to be with the details. And I'm going to explain why and how you can write your career episode. Or it could be a particular engineering problem that you were required to solve. And I like actually this last bit here, the engineering problem. Because when you write your career episode as an engineering problem, you describe the problem, and then you usually write about the options that you thought about to solve the problem, and then you list the pros and cons of each of the option, and then you can describe how you used your engineering skills and knowledge to check which option is going to be better, and then you can justify that. And then once you chose the option, you implement that option using your engineering skills, and then you solve the problem, and you can then write about the final result or the outcome of the application of your engineering skills to solve that problem. So it's a very logic path, and you need to understand that the assessor from Engineers Australia is also an engineer. So, and we engineers, we are very logic. So if you can write about a problem, options, how you chose the option, how you implemented the solution, and what was the outcome, it's very logical, very easy to understand. In the career episode, this is very important, guys, because the career episode must be based on work conducted personally by you and must be written entirely in your own words. Presenting work conducted by others as your own, and or using other people's words, templates, career episodes, online sources, etc., is considered plagiarism and is a violation of Engineers Australia Code of Ethics. And this carries significant penalties, including the rejection of the application, imposition of up to 36 months ban or reporting of your details to the Department of Home Affairs for further investigation and action. So this is really serious, guys. And you're all adults. You do whatever you want to do. But I'm just here to make you aware of the risks. If Engineers Australia catches you as plagiarism, they will impose a banning period, which means that you cannot apply to be validated within that banning period. Imagine if you have to wait 3 years until you can apply again. What you're going to do in these 3 years? You need to do something. It's going to delay your migration process. So I know that you guys probably already found a lot of CDR writers and people promising you that they're not never going to get caught. In these 5 years that I'm doing helping people, I got so many phone calls and messages of people that got caught by plagiarism, and the company that they engaged, or the people, sometimes even friends that try to help, they say, "Oh, sorry, I'm not going to charge you anything," and that's it. You end up with the banning period, even though you don't need to pay them, but you're still banned for 3 years. And I can't help too much. One, because I don't do one-on-one consulting, and if you got caught by plagiarism, unfortunately, it's really difficult for you to turn around the situation. But you guys are adults. You do whatever you want. I'm just here to say that it's risky. Engineers Australia has a very advanced plagiarism detection software. And even with ChatGPT, they are obviously incorporating artificial intelligence in their plagiarism. Another thing that sometimes people do, they write in their own language. Let's say if you are from Colombia, for example, you write in Spanish, and then you give to a translator. The translator will translate to English. That is also plagiarism because it's not your own words. The report needs to be written in English, and in Engineers Australia, they expect that you will be writing in English. So if you give to a translator, and the translator will finalize a report for you, it's also considered to be plagiarism. But you guys do what you want to do. I'm just here to alert you of the risks. Just before I move to summary statement, and I'm going to give you hints about career episodes as well. But it's important to say that the career episodes, they have a structure. Well, it's a proposed structure. Usually you start with the introduction, and the introduction will have between 50 and 100, 150 words. Each career episode will have in total between 1,000 and 2,500 words for each career episode. And usually they have four parts: the introduction, the background, the personal engineering activity, and the summary. It's like writing a narrative. It's like writing an essay. You give the introduction to give the reader a little bit of a idea of what you're going to be writing about, where it happened, when it happened, and what was your experience. And then the background, between 200 and 500 words, you're going to talk about the objective of your career episode, the specific activities that you performed, the activities that the area that you're working or studying, they were performing. If you worked, or even if you were at university, put the organizational chart to locate where you were in the organization, or if it was an academic project, the professor and yourself, and perhaps if it was a team, project, you put the other team members, and what really was your role in that experience. So that's for the background. And then you go to the personal engineering activity, which is the main body of your career episode. In this main body, you will then describe what was the problem, how did you solve it, what was your personal contribution to solve the problem or the engineering experience, and what was the final outcome. And here is where you're going to write all your calculations, describe the design, describe the design processes, what technical standards did you use, if you use software, computer softwares, what tools did you use to develop your engineering experience. You're going to attach your photos and pictures and diagrams and tables in the personal engineering activity. And then in the summary, you're going to succinctly summarize what was the final outcome and what was your professional development with that, and what was the importance of your participation in that activity to achieve that result. So pretty much, 4 parts in the career episode: introduction, background, personal engineering activity, and summary. And you do that for experience number 1, experience number 2, and experience number 3. Also, when you're writing your career episode, it's very important to number each paragraph. Why do you need to number each paragraph? It's going to be very useful when you have your summary statement that I'm going to explain next. So when you number your career episode, you will name career episode number 1, career episode number 2, and career episode number 3. And then each paragraph will have a number. For career episode number 1, paragraph number 1 is going to be 1.1. Career episode number 1, paragraph number 2, 1.2. Career episode number 1, paragraph 15, 1.15. And then you do the same for career episode 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, etc. And why is it necessary? Because when you're going to do your summary statement, you will see that you have to locate, tell the assessor, where is the evidence of that competency. And let's say that you're talking about a particular competency, and the evidence is in paragraph 14 of career episode number 3. And then you have to write in your career episode that is 3.14. So the assessor, when he or she is reading that competency and goes across the report and sees that is 3.14, the assessor can go back to your career episode number 3, go to paragraph 14, and read that paragraph and compare to see if that paragraph relates to that competency. If it relates to the competency, tick. If it doesn't relate, cross. So it's to help the assessor to locate the evidences of your competencies. So that's why it's very important to number the career episodes. So the summary statement. The summary statement is going to be the third type of report of your CDR application. In the summary report, regardless if it is for the professional engineer or the engineering technologist or engineering associate, you will have 16 competencies that you need to address. So when you have 16 competencies, obviously the competencies are going to be different. So certain levels of complexity for engineering associate, a little bit more complex for engineering technologist, and a little bit more complex for professional engineers. And Engineers Australia, they have in their website the, the templates for the summary statement for the professional engineers, the technologists, and the associates. Just to wake you up, guys, can you put in the chat, please, if you have already read the Engineers Australia booklet or guidelines, whatever you want to call it. Have you guys read already? Yes, no, maybe? Not yet? So that's the link for you guys to access the Engineers Australia booklet. It's a PDF document that it's going to be your Bible. If you're really serious about becoming an engineer in Australia, you will need to read the booklet not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times. Probably you need to read about 10 times so you understand really well what you need to do before starting anything. A lot of people, they read once and they start writing, and they're just wasting their time because it's probably not going to be correct and they'll have to redo everything. So I encourage you guys to read really and understand really well the booklet before you start even thinking about what you're going to be writing about. Writing is just the end. I keep saying that a successful CDR application is 80% planning and organization and 20% writing. And we all know, we're all engineers. The better we plan, better and easier we're going to deliver. So, and same thing happens for the validation process. If you plan very well, if you organize yourself very well, it's going to be much easier for you to write your reports, organize your documents, apply, and be successful. I tell that to my students all the time. Don't rush to start writing. Watch all my classes, ask questions, read again, rewatch the classes, and once you watch all the classes and have all the questions solved, and they ask questions in our VIP group, I answer those questions. When they understand very well, it's when they start writing. Because if you start writing without understanding, yeah, I'm pretty sure that it will happen. What happened with me when I did my project, my validation, I took 10 months to do it because there was no information. I didn't know how to do it. So it took me a lot of time to do. I wasted a lot of time. I wasted a lot of brain matter probably because a lot of the things, it just went to the rubbish. Um, yeah, not yet. No, not yet. Not yet. Luis, it's homework after class. Yeah, that's pretty much your homework today, tomorrow, and probably for a few weeks and few months. All right, 16 competencies to be addressed. And for each competency, you need to number the paragraphs in the career episode. And I've got a template of the summary statement here from Engineers Australia, and I'll show you how to fill out the summary statement as well. And also you need to list the reasons why you believe you have demonstrated the competency. So the summary statement we'll have a list of the 16 competencies. And then what I call middle column, you have to write the reasons why you believe you have demonstrated that competency. For example, in the design process, which is P 2.3, you can say that in career episode number 1, I've designed a bridge on the road, whatever. So that was my, for example, reason why I believe I'm competent. And then in the right-hand column, which is the numbering, I will put that I did C1.3, 1.7, 1.12, 1.15, 1.20, for example. And then in career episode number 2, I demonstrated this competency when I designed the vertical alignment of an access road, whatever. And then I put the numbers of the career episode number 2, 2.1, 2.7, 2.11, 2.21, etc. And then in career episode number 3, I demonstrated this competency when I did this, and that. And then I put the numbers of the career episode number 3, 3.4, 3.6, 3.13, whatever. That's how you usually do it, and I'm going to show in the template. But it's important that you list the reasons for the 16 competencies. And I keep saying to my students, just write in the middle column with the reasons is a big job in itself, because each competency you probably need to write between 50 and 100 words for each of the competencies. If you write 100 words for each of the competencies times 16 competencies, it's already 1,600 words just for the middle column in the summary statement. So it is a fairly long document. So it's not very easy to write, of course. And the summary statement template, it's in the Engineers Australia website. That's probably the only template that you can use from the website. And that's a question. You just need to write one summary statement for the 3 career episodes. You don't need to write one summary statement for each career episode. You combine, you write just one summary statement. In the middle column, you justify the reasons why you believe in each of those 3 career episodes. And in the numbering, you include the numbering for the 3 career episodes as well. So that's just a graphic representation of the summary statement. Here we have some of the competencies, not all competencies, obviously just part of the summary statement, but it's got 6 competencies of the first category and 2 of the second category. The second category has 4 competencies, and the third category has another 6 categories. So how do you do it? You read the competency. For example, P 1.2, conceptual understanding of the mathematics, numerical analysis, statistics, and computer information sciences, which underpin the engineering discipline. So that's the competency that you need to demonstrate, that you have experience and you're competent. And then in the middle column, you will write how you have applied the element. In career episode number 1, blah, blah, blah. In career episode number 2, blah, blah, blah. In career episode number 3, blah, blah, blah. And then in the right-hand column, you will write the paragraph number that is related to that competency 1.2 for career episode number 1, for career episode number 2, and for career episode number 3. And that's why the summary statement, in my view, is one of the most difficult documents to write in the validation process, because you need to understand what examples of your engineering experience will be related to each competency. So sometimes it's difficult to associate the examples that you have with the competencies, because sometimes you don't understand the competency. And if you don't understand the competency, how come can you link an example to something that you didn't understand? So that's why I'm saying to you that's really important for you to read very carefully all the competencies many, many times and understand what each competency is about. Because if you don't understand, it's going to be really difficult to have a good summary statement. It's also going to be difficult to write a good career episode, because when you write a career episode, as I teach my students, you just start writing your career episodes after you understand all competencies. Because when you're writing each paragraph, you know already, well, my students, they know already what they need to write about and how they need to write. So that's why it's so important that you read very, very well your the Engineers Australia booklet. And this is what I call the middle column, and this is the what I call the right-hand column. Okay, so I'm going to give you some hints for you to prepare a successful CDR. So in the CV, what's going to be the necessary documentation, hints about the reference letters, hints about the CPD, the career episodes, and the summary statement. And hopefully, if you use those hints, it will help you to have your CDR application much, much stronger. So hints for your CV. So before I start with the hints, there's few more people that joined after we started. So I'm going to go back just for the free consulting draw that I'm going to give away tonight. So if you haven't done yet, you can go to my Instagram post, and the QR code is in the slide there. You just need to go to the post, follow my profile, mark another engineer in the comments, and write in the comments, I will become an engineer in Australia. Later on, after I almost finish, I will upload the comments in the platform that I use, and then the platform will pick somebody, and then I will check if that somebody did the things that needs to do, and then that person will get a free 15 minutes consulting with me. Probably next week, then I'll do an Instagram live session, and I will invite the winner to share the screen with me, and then we'll have a chat about his or her questions, and then hopefully those questions will be helping other engineers. And that's why I do during a live session, because it's not just helping the person that won the consulting, but also usually the questions that the person has usually will help other engineers as well. So that's why I do the free consulting during a live session, because it helps the person and helps other engineers as well. So if you haven't done yet, you still have some time. You just gotta point your camera to the QR code, or if you go to my Instagram profile, there is a post about the 15 minutes of free consulting. I think it's the second last post. And just follow the prompts, like the post, follow my profile, mark another engineer in the comments, and write in the comments, we become an engineer in Australia. All right, so going back for the hints. Hints for your curriculum vitae. The experiences is after your graduation. If you recently graduated, or if you don't have any work experience, you're going to use your academic engineering experience, then it's probably important that you include in your CV some of your academic experience. For example, the projects that you did, maybe some supervised internship that you did while you were studying. It's important that you include in your CV. It's important to not have gap periods after your graduation. Oh yeah, Jerson, but I graduated and then I worked 2 years and then I came to Australia. And I'm in Australia for the last 2 years, for example. That's okay. In the last 2 years, you need to put in your CV what you did. If you studied English, or if you studied another certificate, or if you're studying and then working, even if you're working outside of engineering as a cleaner, delivery, dress person, whatever, it's important that you put in your CV. So it's important not to have gaps after your graduation. And if you're going to include work experience, it's important to have in the referees for each employer or university with name, email, and phone, because Engineers Australia may contact them to verify if what you've written is really what you've done. Okay. For the career episode documentation. So maybe before you start writing, it's important to think about what sort of a documentation will I need for my career episode. Because not just about writing. The booklet talks about engineering evidences of your experience. And engineering evidences, it could be photos, diagrams, tables, calculation workouts, CAD drawings, screenshots of the software that you used, pictures, technical standards. If you're using technical standards, it's important to have the number and the name of the technical standard. And also, if you're using academic experience, 99% of the cases, Engineers Australia will ask you to send a copy of your academic experience, the report or the project, whatever. You don't need to translate the document, but you need to send a copy, because that is going to be the engineering evidence of your academic work. So really important, career episode documentation, copies of the academic reports, photos, diagrams, tables, calculation workouts, CAD drawings, pictures, technical standards. And I will reinforce things that you did. If you end up getting things from the internet that was not you, you can still use it, but you just need to make sure that you reference that the name of the author. Obviously, if you using a diagram from a technical standard as a screenshot, you need to put as a reference in the legend that that diagram is coming from a technical standard, whatever number, etc. When you don't put that, Engineers Australia thinks that it's your work, and they will the advanced software, it will pick up that diagram coming from a book. And if you didn't give the credit to the book author, they will interpret that you're trying to say that was your work. And using somebody else's work as your own is plagiarism. So just be careful with that. Some hints for reference letters. If you're going to use a work experience and you need to get reference letter, it's important to have the reference letter in the company letterhead. In Brazil, in Portuguese, we say papel timbrado, with the company name, location, start and finish dates. And start and finish dates is day, month, and year that you start, and day, month, and year that you finish. Especially if you're going to validate your work experience. In Engineers Australia, they need to count the days. You need to put if it's full-time or part-time, the title or the position that you occupied, and what was your salary base. For the validation of your qualification, you don't really need to put your salary base. But if you're validating your work experience, you need to have your salary base. So if you're going to ask your reference letter, might as well ask with the full lot. Ask with your salary base. And also, you need to describe at least the minimum of 5 main activities that you performed, including the projects, especially if you're going to mention projects or use your projects in your career episode. It's important that you have your projects in your reference letter and signed by the supervisor or human resources with the contact details, and which is telephone number and email. If you can get the letter in English, you will then save yourself probably $50 because you don't need to translate. But if you have your reference letter in your own language, you will need to get an authorized translator to translate to English language. Yeah, Benjamin has a question. You don't need to call me sir, Benjamin. That's all right. What if you have bachelor degree from accredited uni? Do I still need to do CDR? Depends, Benjamin. If it is accredited course by Engineers Australia, obviously then you don't need to. The CDR process is just for courses that are non-accredited courses, or if they are from a non-accord. But if you are eligible for one of the 3 accords, or if your course is accredited by Engineers Australia, then you don't need to do CDR. Some of the hints for CPD. It's important, and I always ask participants of the workshop, create a CPD table now. After the workshop, grab a Word document or Excel and create your 5 columns. Record the CPD events as you do it. So if you read a magazine, a technical magazine or a technical book, or if you attend a webinar, a technical webinar, once you do that, just write, title, date, duration, venue, organizer. So you got all the 5 columns. Because if you don't, you will forget. Search for free CPD events online. Yeah, as I showed before, and the link is in the comments. In the Engineers Australia website, there are free webinars. There are also some technical publications in the Engineers Australia website. If you graduated more than 10 years ago, a hint that I give to you, record at least one CPD event per year. Remember, the CPD is just one A4 list. You're not going to be able to fit more than 20, 25 events. If you graduated 10 years ago, Engineers Australia wants to know what did you do since the 10 years. So if you can put one CPD event per year, they know that every year you were recycling yourself with engineering knowledge. It's important to focus on technical events. Some soft skill events can be used. So if you put your CPD just with the English and business management, marketing, and those sort of things, even project management is soft skills for Engineers Australia. They may ask you, yeah, but you didn't really have a lot of engineering CPD events. So try to focus on the technical events because they want to know, again, what did you do as a professional engineer refresher? So focus on technical events. And it's just going to be only one page in A4 size. And hints for the career episodes, always in the first person. The career episode is a narrative of the past. Remember this statement. The career episode is a narrative of the past. And that's why you need to use the verbs in the past tense. Always in the first person because it's your work. They don't want to know what others did, what the team did. They want to know what you did. So you have to write, I designed this, I delivered that, I calculated this, I researched this. I know sometimes it's awkward. We don't like to talk about that just I. But for Engineers Australia, it's about you. It's not about others. And I mentioned that before, include engineering evidences always when you mention in an engineering activity. So if you mention about the diagram, make sure that you put the diagram below. Calculations, formulas, tables, photos, pictures, AutoCAD, softwares, standards, manuals, all of those things, they are engineering evidences. Avoid the use of words like could and would. Why is that? Because if you say, I could do that, I would do that, it means that you haven't done it. You would do it, but you haven't done it. And the career episode is a narrative of the past. It means that you've done it. So you got to talk about the things that you've done, not the things about that you would do. Competency means that you are applying a knowledge and is verified by the supervisor. So if you say that you would do, you have the theoretical knowledge, but you haven't done it. So if you haven't done it, you're not competent. So that's the reason why it's got to be in the past. And avoid, when using we, the team, ours, us, or our, you can use that because you're not going to lie if the project was delivered by a team. If the project was delivered by a team, you've got to say that the project was delivered by a team. You can say that. But you need to then say, although the project was delivered by a team, my personal contribution was this. I did this as part of the teamwork. So you always got to say the things that you did as part of the team. And avoid using very short paragraphs or very long. In average, each paragraph will have between 100 and 150 words per paragraph. Some other hints for career episodes. It's a good idea to use engineering problems as an experience in your career episodes, as I mentioned before. Describe the problem resolution methodology that you used. What was the problem? Why did you have to solve it? Options for solutions. Why did you choose a specific option? your role in implementing the solution, and the results achieved. And take care using the terminology according to the category you are applying for, so you don't undervalue yourself. And remember that the career episode is a narrative of the past. Start a summary statement. That's hints for summary statement. Start a summary statement just after you wrote all 3 career episodes. It's important that you don't write the career episode and you write the summary statement. Write the whole 3 career episodes, because then you get better in writing. You can then fix some of the other career episodes. And then you write your summary statement. Read each of the 16 competencies and make sure you understood each word and its meaning. List all examples of your experience matching to each competency so you don't forget. Remember, 80% organization, 20% writing. Write at least between 75 and 150 words for each competency in the middle column. And avoid having just one paragraph number in the competencies, because if the assessor doesn't consider that paragraph as evidence and you don't have other paragraph, then you're not going to be competent. And now you just need to overcome procrastination and start. And always remember, 80% planning and organization and 20% writing. I know that's a lot of content. It's really difficult to give a lot of details in 1.5 to 2 hours. I'm going to explain how my mentoring program works. Obviously, if you want to stay and see what's going to be the benefit, as I said, tonight is Black Friday. I'm going to give you guys a very good offer for you to participate. I have already, out of my more than 100 students, 39 students already applied, and all of the 39 students were already approved, and I've got them in my presentation. And the methodology does work, and there's no risk of plagiarism because I teach you how to write it, and you write yourself. I don't write any reports. And I'm going to explain how the mentoring is going to work. If you have any other questions about the process, keep writing in the comments, in the chat, and I will be answering those ones as we go. And after I explain how the mentoring is going to work, I will be doing the giveaway of the 15 minutes of free consulting as well. If you want to have a look at my website about my mentoring, this is the website that you can have a quick look while I explain everything. I think that's, is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's this one. All right, so what I'm going to explain today. Yeah, what I'm going to explain today, what's my mentoring program? How does it work? What's the Black Friday offer? How much will this cost? What's going to be the warranty? And what are the benefits in doing my program? I'm just going to play this audio. Hopefully it will work, which is an audio from a student when she got the email from Engineers Australia saying that she was approved. And I was very happy when she got approved because she had a really difficult case. Hopefully you guys will be able to listen.
Gerson, eles responderam, eu tô chorando de alegria aqui. Eles aprovaram meu diploma, graças a Deus, minha validação, e aprovaram meus 2 anos de Austrália, mais 6 anos no Brasil. Meu Deus do céu, eu não tô aguentando de felicidade. Ai, meu Deus, obrigada, obrigada, obrigada. Eu não tenho nem como te agradecer. Nossa, muito obrigada. Gerson, você não sabe o quanto que você me ajudou. Depois eu vou até escrever um depoimento no Facebook te agradecendo, porque, nossa, muito obrigada. Foi muito essencial. Foi muito essencial. Obrigada mesmo. Gerson!
And you can imagine how I felt when I received this message from Erica. She's a civil engineer. She was crying when she sent me the audio, and I almost cried as well because she, at some point, she was going to give up, and she didn't want to do it because she thought that she couldn't finish, she couldn't have the experiences. But yeah, we talked a lot and we had a lot of chats, and we found experiences that she could use. And obviously, she got validated. After that, she applied for her permanent residency. And last year, she sent me a message saying that she got her permanent residency. She works today, she works for a concreting company. She's doing really well as civil engineer here. She lives in Sydney, and very happy for her. Luis said that can't listen. I think I'll stop sharing and I'll share it again. Also share audio. To share audio, share a tab instead. That's interesting. For the entire screen, no. To share audio, share a tab instead. Looks like can't share the can't share the tab. Sorry guys. Yeah, unfortunately couldn't really, but there was subtitles, so hopefully you guys managed to read the subtitle. Yeah. So yeah, I said that I'm Jerson, and for the last 13 years I've been interviewing engineers, reviewing career episodes, so they could move forward and take next step in the professional engineering journey. And now I'm teaching this formula, and my mentoring program is called Validation Formula Online Mentoring Program, because it is a formula. I developed a methodology, a step-by-step, that if you follow that step-by-step, you'll probably be like Erica, will be approved. And they managed to overcome their fears and are writing the reports confidently towards the ultimate goal, which is to get Engineers Australia approval and be recognized as engineers here in Australia. And I already have several success stories, 39 so far. Starting with Leila, a Brazilian civil engineer who lives in Tasmania, who submitted a CDR application in December 2019, and she was approved in January 2020. And now with this positive result, allowed her to apply, and she got the visa here in Australia, which is the beginning of her and her family life transformation. The second success story was Walter, Brazilian environmental engineer, who was approved in April 2020. Then it was Bernardo, a civil engineer, who was approved in May 2020. In August, Cristiano, civil engineer, who was approved. And those pictures are the letters and the messages that they sent me when they were approved. Rothenberg, mechanical engineer, approved by Engineers Australia. October was Erica, the lady or the person with the audio, a civil engineer living in Sydney. In December was Duda from Adelaide. She was approved as engineering draftsperson. In December, still Ricardo, production engineer, got the good news in Spain. In February 2021, Peterson received his approval as mechanical engineer. Myra received the good news in March as engineering draftsperson. Danielle received the good news in May 2021, approved as mining engineer. Vinicius received the good news in 2021, July, as electrical engineer. Allison in 2021, August, as electronics engineer. Guilherme was happy in September 2021 as a mechanical engineer. Also in September, André was approved as civil engineer. Marceli was approved in October 21 as civil engineer. Another André as civil engineer in November 2021. November 21 was Rodrigo as approved as production engineer. And Marcos as civil engineer. In April 22 was Rodrigo's turn as mechanical engineer. July was Camila's as mechatronics engineer. You can see that there's different types of engineers. They all follow the same methodology. November 22, Milton got his validation as production engineer. December 22, Marta got her validation as chemical engineer. January 23, Aline got her validation as engineering technologist. April 23, Lloyd from Philippines got his validation as production engineer. In May 23, Andre from Brazil got his validation as environmental engineer. In June, Bruno from Brazil got his validation as engineering technologist. In July 23, Felipe from Brazil got his validation as automation and control engineer. One day later, Rafael from Brazil got his validation as product design engineer. August 23, Rafael got his validation as chemical engineer. October 23, Rodrigo got his validation as civil engineer. November 23, Bruna got her validation as industrial engineer. In November, Carla got her validation as environmental engineer. And Jari was my very first student. He was my first student in my mentoring program back in 2019. He was in Brazil. And then when he arrived in Australia in 2023, he started the validation process and he applied and he got validated as mechanical engineer. In February 24, Luan from Gold Coast got validated as civil engineer. In March, Jivago from Brisbane also validated as civil engineer. In August, Sandra was validated as agricultural engineer. In August 2024, Lin Lin from Myanmar was validated as engineering technologist, as well as her husband that was validated as petroleum engineer, which is 2-in-1. So 39 very happy engineers of the 39 engineers that approved. So 100% approval rate so far. And you can be the next validated engineer in Australia. Because I said I'm opening registration for my validation formula, my online mentoring program to teach you how to learn a structured method to validate your engineering degree in Australia. You may know, maybe not, but the validation formula is a mentoring program where I compile my experience of 30 years as an engineer and 18 years working as recognized engineer here in Australia. And the mentoring program is a series of 25 modules in the style of video lessons with a total duration of approximately 9 hours between videos and activities. And these modules, they cover entire validation process with several practical examples of how you can prepare your CDR in a solid and consistent way, substantially improving your chances of being approved by Engineers Australia. Does that mean it's unique? Even though I haven't seen anything like it, I don't think it's unique. I still don't know any other mentoring program like mine. Does that mean it's the best? Not necessarily. So far, I've got 100% approval rate, so I'd say that it is very good. Is it guaranteed that your CDR will be approved by Engineers Australia? Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee because the assessment is based on your skills in demonstrating the 16 experiences, competencies required by Engineers Australia, and that you have had an active academic life or work experience in the field. But the examples that I shared with you proves that the method is really strong. And with the validation formula mentoring, you'll learn how to make your CDR stronger and with much better chances of being approved by Engineers Australia. It's a proven method with my own approval and now with the approval of other 39 engineers. So how much is going to cost as investment to be part of the next class of the online mentoring program, Validation Formula? Is it now that I'm going to tell you how much that's going to cost? Not quite yet. I'm going to talk to you about bonuses that will help you in the validation process and in the search of a job in engineering or even in any other area, as well as I'm including here the revision of one career episode, which I just did in the last year, Black Friday, but I'm giving you more discount. I'm giving you a very special offer this year. So I don't do revision. A lot of people, they ask me if I review career episodes. I don't. But as a special offer for the Black Friday, I'm going to give you guys one revision of one career episode. And why one? Because I give you one revision, and then the comments that I give in one career episode usually is the same mistakes that you do for the second and third. So you'll be able to replicate the revision in the other ones. So the 9 extra bonuses, they are the VIP group in Telegram and WhatsApp. You'll be part of my VIP group in Telegram and WhatsApp. Why both? Because I'm trying to migrate from Telegram just to stay with WhatsApp. But it's a VIP group just for my students where you can ask questions. When you ask questions, I answer the question in the group, and then everybody gets the answer, which means that your question will help others as well as somebody else's question. When I answer the question, helps you that sometimes you're not even aware of that question, but you ended up getting the response as well. So you can exchange in the program. It's important to know that in the VIP group, I don't review documents, career episodes or summary statement. However, you can send me your reference letter, you can send me your CPD, and I will provide feedback as a special bonus. The normal price is $850. You get that for free. Bonus 2, 3, and 4, they are the 3 ebooks that I've written to help you to find a job as an engineer. The first ebook is 7 tips for preparing the curriculum vitae. You get an ebook with those 7 tips to make your CV stand out with more chances to be chosen by the recruitment panel. The normal price is $25. You get that for free. The next ebook, 7 tips for preparing a cover letter. You get an ebook on how to make your cover letter stand out and improve your chances in being chosen for the interview. The normal price is $25. You get that for free. Bonus 4 is ebook 7 tips on how to behave in interviews. Knowing how to behave in a professional interview is essential. And with the 7 tips, you increase your chances of being chosen as a candidate to be hired. Normal price is $25. You get that for free. And why did I write those ebooks? Because in my normal job, I've hired already dozens and dozens of engineers and project managers. And I already participated in and evaluated hundreds, not even thousands of applications. And I compile all those hints because of my experience in hiring engineers and project managers. Bonus number 5 is question and answer sessions. I promote every 2 months, I promote a question and answer session and I catch up with the students. So usually it's a Saturday or a Sunday morning. I stay online for 90 minutes and then the students, they can join, they ask questions, if they can, of course. And then during the 90 minutes, we chat about their questions, we explain about a few other things. So they have access for the 12 months from the date that they entered the program. During the live sessions, I obviously answer questions about the content of the mentoring program and also about on career episodes or summary statement during those feedback sessions, because obviously it's very particular to a particular student. And the duration of the question and answer usually will be approximately 90 minutes. The normal price is $250. You get that for free as well. Bonus number 6 is skeleton action plan using 5W to H methodology. Remember, organization and planning. With this action plan, you can organize your actions and establish a timeline. Some people, some engineers, they need to finish in 30 days or 45 days. 2 students, they had to finish in 2.5 weeks. They managed to finish in 2 weeks. They applied, they ended up being approved, and they got the graduate visa that they needed. The normal price is $25. You get that for free. Bonus number 7 is one of the most important bonus that I think it's in there. The compilation of feedback and comments. 13 pages of feedback and comments that I provided to my students. If you read and follow those feedbacks and comments, it's going to save you a lot of mistakes. It's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of frustration and money as well. So you have access to a preview of the compilation of comments. Make sure that you read the comments and feedback before you start writing so you don't make the same mistakes. Normal price is $300. You get that for free. Bonus number 8 is the career episode planning and summary statement assistant. It's an Excel planning tool that I developed, which contains the summary statement assistant, the academic or work experience planner, and the checklist of the 16 competencies. It's to help you to organize your thinking, how to choose the best experience, and how you're going to list the examples of your engineering experiences to help you write your career episodes and organize your summary statement. The normal price is $100. You get that for free. And the last bonus is a meeting of the validation formula students. I'll promote a meeting session inviting all students of the validation formula to exchange their experiences, sharing what worked and what didn't work, to foster a sense of community. Where to get farther, you don't go alone, but you're accompanied. These meeting sessions will be promoted via live webinar twice a year, and currently I'm doing that together with the question and answer sessions. Normal price is $200. You get that for free. So if you add up all of these bonuses, the total amount is $1,800, and you get that for free. And with the Black Friday offer, I will also review one career episode after you watch all 25 modules and you apply that knowledge. The review will be in an email up to 4 weeks after you send me your career episode. And this is valued at roughly $2,500, because to review a career episode, I pretty much go line by line and I review terminologies, I review if you have enough content, I review if you have enough engineering evidences, and I provide that feedback in an email, and then you fix and adjust that career episode. So when you're thinking of benefits of having a structured method that is based on experience, that will save you time in preparing the CDR by being structured, and this may be the difference between being able to apply for a future visa or not, and considering that the cost in the market, according to some engineers who quoted with consultants and agents, some of those consultants, they might charge $4,000, $7,000 for this individual consulting. And take into account that you get recognition of your engineering profession. Once you get validated, it's much easier to get a job as an engineer. Can give you a chance to get a job as an engineer that would pay you $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 a year, even more, and for several years. But I know that many people cannot afford to pay $4,000, $7,000. So what I propose to do is to help you to achieve your life transformation in a more affordable way. The investment for you to secure a place in the next class of the validation formula is going to be just $1,747. And that's without the discount. I'm going to give you a discount tonight. It's really a great opportunity to begin your journey towards validating your engineering degree here in Australia. But because it's Black Friday, I'll give you a super discount of $700. Last year, I gave $600. This year, I'm giving you $700, but just until tomorrow evening, Saturday, 30th, 11:59 Brisbane time. So the discount of $700 is just until 11:59 tomorrow, Saturday, here Brisbane time. And just one day. And also that one review of career episode. If you procrastinate, if you think too much about it, if you forgot about it, and if you decide to join the program on Sunday, from Sunday, the discount is going to be $400. It's still a good discount. So you pay $1,347. You still get the 9 bonuses for free, but without the revision of the one career episode. So if you're really serious about joining the program, make sure that you join tonight or tomorrow, because you get the $700 as well as the 9 bonuses, as well as the one revision of the career episode. The Black Friday offer is a real win-win strategy. You supported me by having participated in the workshop, and I'll help you with an offer that cannot be declined. I'll give you a discount of $700, so you pay just $1,047, plus the 9 bonuses worth $1,800 for free, and one career episode review worth $2,500 for free. So the investment is just that. The link is in the comments, validationmentoring.com. And I'm going to talk about also the warranty. I'm reminded that the offer is just until tomorrow, Saturday, 11:59 from Sunday. The discount is just $400. You still get the 9 bonuses for free, but you're not getting the revision of the career episode. So honestly, only these bonuses and the career episode review are already worth $4,300. That is more than 4 times the amount that you invest in the online mentoring program in case you join during the Black Friday offer until tomorrow, Saturday. If you're already excited about all of this, the structured methodology, the bonuses, the discount, I'm going to talk about the warranty. If in the first 30 days you have had no benefit through the validation formula and my mentoring on Telegram and WhatsApp in providing a learning for a stronger CDR application, you just need to email me a copy of your CDR to demonstrate that you at least try to prepare the documentation saying that you have had no benefit. And I will return to you 100% of the amount that you paid for the validation formula. If you paid $1,047 and after 30 days you watch the classes, you didn't really feel any improvement, I will return you 100%. I will return $1,047, not even going to discount the fee that I pay for the credit card. So that is very simple. You're not at any risk. Simple as that. So you can start your transformation dream tonight by being recognized. What happened? By being recognized as professional engineer. You just need an investment, only $1,047 with the Black Friday offer. And you can start your validation journey tonight. My camera went out, but that's all right. You can probably still hear me. So don't waste time and secure a place with this irresistible offer. The QR code will take you to the validation mentoring website. The video lessons will be available as soon as you join the mentoring program. Right now, you have the chance to enroll in my mentoring program to get the $700 discount, the 9 bonuses, and 1 career episode review. And believe it or not, All you need to do is to beat procrastination and take a small step toward your goal. Between you and me, I know you want to validate your engineering degree. If you didn't want to, you are not probably be in my mailing list or even in the WhatsApp group. But being recognized as an engineer is not for anyone. Being recognized is for the unreasonable. My wife and I were unreasonable back in 2005. We dropped everything, our great jobs, our comfortable life, family, friends, perks, and we came here. We clean toilets, we clean floors, we wash dishes, we serve as waiters, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we don't think we were very reasonable. At least our families didn't think we were reasonable. But today, we know that if we had been reasonable, we would be in the same situation to this day. So think about the big changes you've made in your life until today. Should being unreasonable be a common term between them? Most of people I talk, they say yes, they were unreasonable. And I'm giving you this opportunity now. Don't miss this opportunity to get the Black Friday offer and be part of the validation formula and secure a seat not by paying $1,797, but for only $1,047 with a Black Friday offer, including the review of one career episode and the 9 bonuses for free. Visit my website, validationmentoring.com. So click the button on the page and enroll now. You can pay by bank transfer or by credit card. Be unreasonable, make it happen. A legend says that one of the greatest pains of those who are on the deathbed is regret. And I believe it's very difficult to find someone at the end of life who feels sorry to have been unreasonable. Most people regret that they weren't unreasonable enough when they were given the opportunity. Think about it. And now I'm going to do the 15 minutes of free consulting. And if you have any questions about my mentoring program or any other questions about the validation process, feel free to send me a message in WhatsApp or here in the comments. And I'll just load the site to do the draw. And I'll share the screen with you guys. So hopefully it will work. A second. So that's the phone. Continue. Just going to log in to my Instagram account. And then I'll share my screen. Yeah, I'll share my, I'll present something else. All right. Can you guys see the screen for the? Yeah, well, it loads up. Benjamin said, hi, can book consultation with you? Kindly let me know how I can reach you. Yeah, I don't do one-on-one consulting. But depending on the question, obviously, you can reach me on WhatsApp and I'll see what I can do, Benjamin. So it's loading. So hopefully it will finish loading. It's not quite. I'll try to reload here. I'll try another browser. Sometimes a browser will work better. I'll try another browser to see if it's going to work better. Oh, I think it loaded up. So hopefully the person is going to be here. So Juan Rodrigo. Rodrigo,
Oi, hello.
you're here.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, so I'll just quickly double check that you've done everything, Rodrigo.
Could you repeat, please?
I'm just going to double check that you've done all the tasks.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so Rodrigo, he liked the post. He follows me and he's written, I will become an engineer in Australia, and he marked somebody else, Eduardo. So congratulations, Rodrigo, you're the lucky winner of
Okay.
tonight's draw.
Nice. That's nice.
Yeah, no, well done, and we will. I'll contact you, and then we can maybe next week we can set up a time, probably during the evening, so we can do the Instagram live session. Where are you, Rodrigo?
Yeah, I'm in Rio. I'm in Cabo Frio right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Let's check. Let's mark the meeting.
Yeah, no, it's all good, Rodrigo. Thank you very much. Thanks for participating, and congratulations again.
Okay.
Yeah, I just go back to my PowerPoint, and we will be finishing the workshop. So I'd like to thank you guys very much. God bless you, and I hope to see you in the video classes of the validation formula. So if you have any question about the mentoring program, yeah, don't hesitate to contact me, and we can clarify any question. So thank you very much, guys. Sorry, my camera didn't come back. Yeah. I hope you guys learned a few things tonight.
I have a doubt.
Yeah, all good, Rodrigo. Yeah, go for it.
The link for the Black Friday offer is here.
Yeah, it's in, I'll put it again. I'll put in the comment there. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Validationmentoring.com. Yeah.
I see. Now I see.
All right.
Thanks.
All good. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. Have a very good day, morning or afternoon or evening, depends where you are. And we will certainly catch up. See you then. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.